That clap on.
5, 4, 3.
It's showtime.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Welcome to the party, pal.
See you at the party, Richter. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Get away from her, you bitch!
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
You did not going to say that, did you?
What I do have are a very particular set of skills.
To do the binds.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Inconceivable.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
This is a tasty burger.
Face.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I'm the bad guy?
And Hulk, smash.
I can speak with an English accent.
Hit the hash pipe and join the National Guard. I could be elected president.
You went over my helmet?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
I know, right?
The list is in the open.
Hey, where are the white women at?
They're digging in the wrong place.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Are you not entertained?
Second start of the ride. And straight on till morning.
Meow.
You son of a bitch.
1.21 gigawatts!
Wax on, wax off.
Oh my goodness, I am sporting a tremendous woody right now.
Bartender is the aristocrat of the working class.
You want to flip 6-3 whole play and you could score.
Cover me.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. On this team, we fight for that itch.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
No ticket.
No ticket.
I get older, they stay the same age.
It's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. He's 15.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies.
Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. How are you, sir?
I'm kind of regretting this decision.
What decision?
Putting this movie in this month. Even though it's factually accurate, but...
All right. What is the Reel McCoy, you might ask? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie, watch it, come back to us, and we break it down for you. This month, we're talking about twos are better than ones. And what is the quintessential, apart from Star Wars, that two is better than one on the consensus? And I thought this one is the least sort of like controversial in terms of twos better than ones.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Is
yeah.
Spider-Man 2. Now, we begin with addressing the thing that threw me off that you could have told me backstage, but you dirty bastard.
I wanted to surprise you.
Sprung it on me. But before we get to that, we'll say hello to the chat. We'll say hello to Kaladin, Dobafed, Kalekioki, Keely Chow, Griffin, who is buried under work, or maybe a bit of tritanium, Paul Harley, James Mendoka, and all the salty nerds that are coming over after Salty Nerd podcast. Let's go. What are your inhibitions about this movie?
So, upon rewatching it for the first time again, I watched a different cut than you watched. You watched the theatrical. I watched the 1.5 version. Had an additional 10 minutes, and from what I'm seeing so far, it's really not that big of a difference. But there is so much superfluous nonsense in this movie. There's an entire subplot that is superfluous bullshit that could have been cut out. Like, there's 30 minutes of film gone, and nothing would have changed at all.
Well, technically, you've got about 10 more minutes of movie, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
just saying, on top of the additional 10 minutes, so about 40 minutes of the movie. So soup to nuts, mine was 2 hours 17. This could have been a crisp 90-minute movie.
maybe not 90, but I would say 100 minutes. Do you remember the time where like a longer version of the movie was not 90 minutes, was actually 100 minutes, and you had extra story and, extra drama, and was mostly down to like non-action films that had that extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It could have been 110 minutes for sure. But they went back into like the first movie to draw some inspiration, and you can kind of watch Spider-Man 2 without actually watching Spider-Man 1. But there's like the Osborn angle that you kind of have to watch.
Again, I'm going off of the one that I watched. With that, it's blatantly clear that you don't need the first film at all. If you watch 1.5, it's blatantly clear. So I don't know what scenes you didn't see, but from what I saw, Harry makes his point perfectly clear. His motivation's perfectly clear. There is no reason why you should watch the first film.
Anyway, we'll get to why 2 is better than 1 at the sort of summary section of the movie, but we begin the show where we begin every single show with a little segment called Behind the Screens.
Sound production, take 2.
Behind the Screens is where we turn to me and get the lowdown on everything behind the scenes, production-wise, and the reason why you think there's a lot of extra storylines. I didn't want to say that either, because I know how to inhibit myself.
Well, I do know that one thing off rip, that originally they wanted to bring in Gwen Stacy and they wanted to kill her.
Correct. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Hello, Gambit. Welcome. All right, cool. So Spider-Man 2 was greenlit immediately as the Spider-Man 1 released. First weekend made $115 million. The first one. That's the second one.
That was in 2001?
That was 2002. Original date of release was, I think, November of 2001. And remember, we had that little incident during September, which kind of deleted some of the most famous posters with the towers in the eye. Remember that? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the release,
just as Gambit brought up a great point, Spider-Man 3 is where the dynamic fails. Guess what? That's exactly what happened to the other major comic book franchise of the time when they were like, X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yes. Black Friday at Best Buy. Yes, Sander, correct. That little incident.
Yes.
All right. So it was immediately greenlit with Sam Raimi at the helm, and Sony, or Columbia Pictures, but it's a Sony company. Sony even gave it a title. You know what the original title of Spider-Man 2 was? The Amazing Spider-Man. Hold on with that thought.
Just as an aside, comic fan, that actually does work with the comic book adaptation of that version of The Amazing Spider-Man, because Peter Parker is more of a dorkier.
Not because of Gwen Stacy. Remember who approved this thing?
Yeah,
it was Sony executives, and Sony executives gave it the title, the working title. Let's double back. So a couple of writers that were on Smallville at the time were hired to handle the story, not the script, but the story. They wanted to, throw some ideas for Sam Raimi. Chaps by the name of Alfred Goff and Miles Miller. Raimi liked their storytelling on Smallville. That's why they kind of got hired. After about a month, this was around 2002. After about a month, the studio actually brought in a guy called David Cope, who was added to the writing team. Again, not strictly for the script, but for the story. And because the working title was Amazing Spider-Man, he was working off the premise of bringing in Gwen Stacy, keeping Mary Jane in because she already had a contract and a deal. Bringing Gwen Stacy and that sort of storyline and kill her off midway through the movie and set up stuff for the third movie. You remember, I'll get to it in a minute, but Tobey Maguire was hired for 3 movies. They didn't greenlit 2 or 3. They didn't even greenlit 3. But they were working off a premise of, okay, if the first one hits, then the second one will be greenlit. And then if that hits, the third one will be approved as well.
Yeah.
And they are not working strictly off a trilogy, more like an episode of an issue, which was like the villain of the month or the villain of the issue, that sort of a premise. That was the working way of thinking. They were not thinking about a universe, no MCU, no DCU, no nothing like that. All right. And this was, like I said, around May of 2002. Right. In September of 2002, Michael Chabon was hired to rewrite some of those stories. Now, again, this was not a script. This was just suggestions for a story. And he suggested that Doc Ock should be introduced. It would be a younger version of Doc Ock, which would fall in love with Mary Jane. He would have the attachments on him that would be really painful. Nothing AI, no control. They're a part of his body infused, which caused him a lot of pain. And because he was in such pain all the time, on their date, he would have almost killed a couple of muggers, which would horrify Mary Jane. And that would spin him into this rage, which actually caused him to turn to Harry Osborn. And why? Because they thought that because Spider-Man has this amazing body, he would take the fluid from his spine, inject it into his own, and get rid of the pain.
I just felt very uncomfortable you saying amazing body and take his fluid.
Fuck off. And in that story, Harry Osborn turns to Jonah Jameson, and they both sort of put on a hit, not really, but put on a $10 million prize on Spider-Man, which turns the people on him, like the citizenship, which really doesn't happen in this movie at all.
No,
at all.
He's beloved. In fact, that's more of a it's a weird bit in the comics where at one point in time, I think now it's now refreshed where this is the Marvel continuity in the comics where Kingpin actually is the mayor of New York, and he put out like anti-vigilante, done,
dead,
done,
prize on your head.
You have to bring them in now, like Daredevil. They're after Daredevil. But there's one thing I did want to just mention as an aside. Bring this whole thing up where there's an entire storyline. Yes, it's comic books. Yes, it's crazy. Why the hell this happened? But Otto Octavius does actually take over the mind and the body of Spider-Man at one point in time, of Peter Parker.
Okay.
And he realizes, holy shit, he's been pulling punches the entire time. Okay. So with the mugger scene, that leading it back to that, where it's like, if he wanted to, he could have just literally murdered everyone.
Yeah, probably. All right. So a large writing team all came down to Sam Raimi just flipping through the drafts and just picking and choosing the stuff that he actually liked from each draft and then giving it to his own writer to write the screenplay, which was Alvin Sargent, who wrote the actual script. The inspirations. Now, it's very varied and very multimedia. Why am I saying this? The whole storyline about Peter kind of losing his powers and also giving up on his powers, because it's kind of together. The losing his powers actually comes from Superman 2, the movie Superman 2, where he doesn't have the red light and all that stuff, but he justifies the fact that he's losing his powers because he is in love with Mary Jane, but it's sort of not a forbidden love, but a love that cannot be, because they both love each other, but they both have their reasons why stuff is not happening, justified or not.
Yes.
And the putting the suit in the garbage thing, that comes from a storyline from, hold on, Spider-Man No More. It's Amazing Spider-Man 50.
Yep.
Again,
well, to be fair, Peter Parker has tossed away the suit on many occasions.
He actually cited Spider-Man 50. So
no.
I'm not the comic book guy. I'm just going by whatever's written on the page.
It happens a lot. The Peter Parker is like, I'm done with this shit.
Okay.
Oh, I'm back.
All right. The Doc Ock storyline is a sort of, again, it's a composite of different things.
Yes.
It's partially the original debut of Doc Ock from 1963. It's partially a 1966 storyline called If This Must Be My Destiny. Again, I didn't go right into it because there's so much. They're like, remember, comic books in terms of their history and storyline and Marvel and DC and all the different characters, there's so much to read. It is going to the library and sitting down and coming out really after 5 months and with like steam on
and
your
you really
head.
have to know like what continuity they're going under, whether it's actually like Earth was 616 or it's the different version, which there's Ultimate Spider-Man, there's Marvel, there's Spider-Man 2099, there's the Miles Morales Spider-Man. There, well, you know the Spider-Verse from your end. But there's so many different versions, even different versions of Peter Parker, which we saw even adapted in most recent.
In No Way Home.
So, yeah.
I watched 3 scenes from No Way Home today, just to remind myself how they were delicately trying to fit in puzzle pieces that really didn't fit in at all.
Yes.
But, it worked. People loved it. So
the really good thing about No Way Home is the Peters actually having that open conversation with each other, and then especially like how Andrew Garfield's version of Amazing Spider-Man, like, yeah, my Gwen died, so my love died, and I'm really sad about it.
We'll not get into that movie, but there's issues there. I have issues with that movie.
There's a lot of
that I didn't have when I was watching it on the screen. Like when I was in the theater watching that movie, I was like, this is fucking amazing what they pulled off. But if you go into the weeds, there's holes in there that really they could have smoothed it over, but put that aside. But there is a connections to the Tom Holland movies.
Yes.
You probably know it. I didn't know it until yesterday. So back in 2000,
and the Andrew Garfield films as well.
Just the Gwen Stacy thing.
No, his professor at NYU.
It's the same one.
Connors. That's the lizard.
Okay.
He becomes that character is the lizard. Yeah.
I've watched those movies once.
Yeah.
Once.
No,
Each
but
one of them.
they tie in all together though, because they're in the Andrew Garfield one has Kurt Connors as the lizard, and then he's in No Way Home as the lizard. It's Kurt Connors trying to revert back.
Okay.
To be him again. Yeah.
Anyway, back in 2000, Tobey Maguire, I did say he was contracted to a 3-movie deal by Sony, but he had an old back injury. I knew it back in the day that he had some health issues, not back issues, but it was more specifically back issues, which after he did Spider-Man, he went on to do Seabiscuit. And during the shoot, it kind of aggravated the injury a little bit. So in in the sort of stage where they greenlit the second movie, they already said, yeah, he won't be able to do even the minor stunts. We're afraid that he's not going to be able to do the minor stunts. So they actually hired Jake Gyllenhaal. He wasn't maybe hired. He wasn't thought about. They actually hired Jake Gyllenhaal to replace him. And you know what the reason was that it was specifically him? That his facial features matched Tobey Maguire's. That's it. No acting ability, no additions. No
like, one guy there is just a huge Donnie Darko fan, and that's it.
One guy looks like the other, maybe. And it's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Javier Bardem kind of situation.
Are you saying all white dudes look alike? Huh?
Although Jake Gyllenhaal is way taller.
Yeah, well, I know he was actually dating Kirsten Dunst at one point in time too.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal was, yeah.
Speaking about dating, the reason why Tobey Maguire got his job back was he was dating Ronald Meyer's daughter.
Oh.
Ronald Meyer was the head of Universal Pictures at the time. So he convinced Sony to make Tobey undergo several medical tests. And when he passed through with flying colors, he was rehired, and Jake Gyllenhaal was tossed to being Mysterio about 15 years later.
Which, oddly enough, he did an amazing job in that film too.
I didn't like that movie at all.
Oh, I like Mysterio.
One
His
of the
version of Mysterio.
I'm not a Spider-Man guy.
Yeah,
I didn't even like
her, but
the
I
first
like
Tom Holland Spider-Man at all. But
which kind of a spoiler. Mysterio is kind of the reason why Old Man Logan takes place, because Mysterio made Logan see all the X-Men as his villains, so he just murders all the X-Men inside the house.
Okay. For the role of Doc Ock, Ed Harris, Chris Cooper, and Christopher Walken were considered. But Molina kind of won over Raimi, mostly because, and Raimi said it himself in an interview, that he loved his performance in Frida, about Frida Kahlo.
Yeah.
And he hired him.
He's fantastic in that, but I still can't see him as Doc Ock.
And the crazy part is he had to drop in weight for the role of Doc Ock, not because he was a fat guy. He has a fat build at least,
he's a big
but
guy.
he had to gain weight for the Frida role.
Yeah,
like extra weight. So he had a really good time with it. Pre-production actually started way before everything got started. In November 2002, they actually shot The Loop in Chicago, which you know where it is.
No, way too well.
Okay. Down to the acquiring of a 2200 streetcar, just to make sure everything is correct. The problem is, New York City does not have an
L. Have an L. That's why I was like, when I first watched this film for the first time, like, this is not a subway. What is going on?
Yes, it's a full L. Not only that, I don't think even Chicago ends at the pier. Just ends.
No, there's not just a sudden stop. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine there's a stop up high, like when the buildings stop, and sort of like Manhattan Island stops, and then the Hudson.
It would only be like, unless there was construction there, like they were still trying to build it, then why would there be anything on that line to begin with?
Exactly. But what they did is just shoot the entire area. Plus, they had about 16 different cameras inside the cars, pointing outwards, and just making sure that when they do do the scene, which was done at a stage in Los Angeles eventually, everything kind of looks correct. And then they added in some shots from New York because surprise, surprise, Chicago doesn't look like New York.
No fucking shit.
The actual filming of the exterior shots were set to do in New York and Chicago, and start at around January of 2003. They had to push that back to April 2003 just because Tobey Maguire was finishing Seabiscuit, the non-writing parts, I guess, because of the back issue. And despite all the problems, Tobey did about 70 to 80% of his own stunts that he could do. Not only that, so much so that the fact that Spider-Man, like Tobey, jumps off a bridge and does the whole Neo thing and drops on a car and says, "My back, my back." That was an inside joke.
And then he falls, my back.
That was an inside joke between him and Sam Raimi. And as soon as I read that on the fucking, on the screen, I was like, yeah, that's totally Sam Raimi's fucking humor.
Like, fucking kid.
A few funny parts, I guess, is J.K. Simmons. There's the part where Spidey gains his powers back essentially and decides, I'm going to be Spider-Man, and steals back the suits from Jonah Jameson. As soon as and a few takes when Jonah says he's a thief, the fake teeth.
Yeah. So just as an aside, before we get into it,
there's a few more.
Scene of him at the NYU clinic when he's talking to the doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't know which scenes you have or don't have, so
I'll get to that.
Because the entire time, like, about your friend, right? Because his entire team, is this just like an ED allegory? It's like
no,
it's
not.
Buddy?
I did not get an ED. We'll get to that. Damn, ED. What did ED?
It's the early 2000s. He's having trouble performing.
I think somebody has issues.
Nah.
And I don't think it's Tobey Maguire. Talk to me after the show, please. I'm joking. All right. You keep throwing me off with these things. Damn. Damn. So
hey, now you know how it feels.
Cameos. Now, Stan Lee was supposed to be in a speaking cameo in the movie, which was cut because of problems with when they did the shot. So at the beginning where Parker has the whole pizza thing, and you see Darnell Rollins looking up in the sky and saying,
she's like, it's the guy from the Chappelle Show going,
exactly,
Spider-Man selling guys pizzas.
Yeah. When he says that was supposed to be Stan Lee, but they fucked up the take somehow, so it was unusable. So they reshot it with Darnell Rollins, and Stan Lee is in this. We actually went and checked,
found the actual scene. Because
I told you I was doing something else, like preparing the show and stuff for like this morning, and rewatched the movie. And I was like, I guess he was there. I know he was there because I did the research yesterday, and was like, I don't remember him at all in the movie. And we had to talk about it again because you had the extended cut. I had the theatrical cut, and where it's supposed to be, where everybody remembers it's not there. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
He literally just picks up a woman and gets her off. It's so minute. It's so quick.
Phrasing.
It's yeah, I know. it's really hard to actually like pause the movie at the opportune moment to see his face. It's that difficult.
Actually, Double Fett brought up a good one. Another cameo is the Emily Deschanel out of nowhere. It's like
yes,
being the
she's the receptionist. Yeah.
And then we have Joel McHale as the banker. Which I was like, okay. What I found really, really great was that they brought in Elizabeth Banks to play Betty Brand, who is J. Jonah Jameson's secretary, because she is actually in the Spider-Man kind of continuity. But originally, Elizabeth Banks was going to play Mary Jane, but she didn't get cast because the casting director told her, "You're too old."
Oh, in 2001 or 2000?
2000, yeah. You're too old for the role.
I mean...
So she got the role, but Betty, it's really funny because Betty later ends up marrying the guy who plays the Hobgoblin, and then later the guy who eventually gets the Venom suit. Yeah.
It's so weird because say what you want about Elizabeth Banks. She's a pretty annoying individual in real life. She still looks okay for her age. She's our age, I think. Yeah, right? Yeah. A little bit older than us.
I think maybe a year older than me, but younger than you.
Yeah, 44, 43, I think.
43, 44, yeah.
So back then she looked old.
They said, no, you're too old.
Some of these executives need their heads fucking checked. She was 26 at the time, so she's older than us. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's older than us. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, but Double Fett brought up like Hal Sparks as the PR guy, which I love that PR guy. See, like just spitballing here.
All right. One more cameo and then a little bit of rough stuff. William Dafoe wasn't supposed to be in the movie at all. Yeah. At all. He heard about like he wanted to join the cast while they're filming. Come and visit. He just came in and visit because he's heard that they are having a swell old time. He came in and Raimi's like, "Do you want to be in the movie?" And he said, "Yeah." So they gave Raimi an out to do a transition for Harry Osborn to get the suit.
Oh, well,
which,
which isn't great, but we forgot the best cameo.
What's the best cameo?
Bruce Campbell.
Well, and also Sam Raimi's brother, which was
Ted
not really
Raimi,
a cameo. Yeah, Ted Raimi.
Because he was in the first film as well.
Yeah. The Bruce Campbell cameo was hilarious.
I just love it that like he is a snarky asshole. I'm like, yeah. I love it.
maybe Bruce Campbell is just a snarky asshole in real life, and that's not really
he
acting.
Doesn't seem to be, because every person I've ever talked to who has interviewed him was like, no, he's just an absolute legend and just the nicest guy in the whole world. So
all right. Two more things, and we're gonna do the first game. Danny Elfman, who composed the first one, composed the second one. Now, I didn't know or didn't even pay attention. But during the second watch specifically, I was like, this is really like Batman Returns shit. I'm not gonna look, but I think it's Danny Elfman. And I've added in this particular note after the rewatch. He composed the film, but during one of the sessions that he did, he had a big falling out with Raimi. So much so that 3 other composers had to come in and redo some things. Now, I didn't write their names, but they were trying to have like notes from other movies. Like they wanted to have a half an octave or something from Hellraiser for a specific scene and Danny Elfman couldn't quite do what Raimi was trying to get to, and that was the big falling out. Because it's a creative thing,
a sting essentially, and that like
something in there to kind of remind you. And this is why I've put this note in, essentially, because, like I said, I've listened to the soundtrack while stuff was going on, and a lot of the action scenes and the transitions really reminded me of Batman Returns. Really, really reminded me of Batman Returns. And I was like, is that I definitely know it's Danny Elfman. Because if you hear a John Williams, you can probably hear some of the other stuff in other stuff that he does. Same with Alan Silvestri, same with Jerry Goldsmith, same with other composers like James Horner. You can see bits and pieces coming in different zones. It's not the whole piece, it's moments.
But that's why I said they have their own like intricate flair that is signature to what they
exactly.
They do.
That's why I want like a piece from Hellraiser, because I will know it and you will know it. Most of the people won't know it, but the people who are really into Hellraiser are like, oh, wait a minute.
It's just like, wait,
I've heard something.
Wait.
That's
what did I think? Come to Daddy, real quick.
And of course, the opening scene, the opening credit scene was had prominent Alex Ross's artwork. Alex Ross is a comic book writer, artist. I think he even did Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't check.
He did for a short period of time, but also I've got some notes about that too, which is fun.
Okay, cool.
So for some of it, they originally they were in talks to actually have Jim Lee come on and do all of the scoping, which is that and framing of all the shots to begin with. But Jim Lee refused because apparently he and Sam Raimi got into an argument one time about The Evil Dead 2, which is
Sam Raimi,
which is
snarky,
absolutely hilarious if you think about it.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Of course, budget 200 million, grossed 795 million worldwide, with, like I said, 115 million opening weekend, which was
huge. Given for inflation, that's what, like 1.4, 1.5 billion?
Close to it. Yes.
Yeah.
For the entire run.
Yeah.
And it was not mostly domestic, but yeah, when you get to 800 million worldwide, you're sitting quite well in 2004. Okay?
Yeah, which is nuts. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do our first game of the night. I think we've talked quite a bit. Let's get going. You have to say it before I press the button.
Well, but before we actually get into talking about the movie, doing the behind the screens, actually, we got through a good portion of some of my notes that I want to talk about for funsies. So speed run this.
Yeah. All right, cool. Missing Mark is where we take 10 posters, have their text written off, we display them, and you guys out there will have to guess which movie this is. This first one is not original. It's a composite poster, but I love it. So we'll have to deal with it.
Oh, that's an easy one.
I know, but I love the composite so much. It's not an original piece. It's not an original
composite piece, but it's a really well done one.
Yeah. Apocalypse Now, James Mendoka. Let's go.
And all I know is from I Love You Man, this film it's a delight.
It's a fun movie. Starring Alfred Molina as the bad guy.
And
Boba Fett has got it. Chocolat. Yeah,
I watched Chocolat yesterday. Yeah. You know what? You're right. It was a delight. this is a great movie that really gives a different take on the apartheid.
I don't want this to have a sequel.
I don't either. I shouldn't.
I really don't.
No.
James has got it again. It is District 9. A lot of people's got it. Very good. Very, very good. Very good. This movie is fucking amazing. The ideas in this movie were pre-Patriot Act. This is pre-Patriot Act, and this is completely laid down the foundation of what happened after the Patriot Act came into being. Enemy of the state. Enemy of the state.
This movie is fucking phenomenal, and Steve Carell deserved an award for it, and I think he got snubbed.
I think you watched this after you couldn't figure out what movie this is. And I'm specifically not zooming in because
James already got it.
Yeah, James got it.
Yeah.
Fox
great fucking movie.
It's a great fucking movie. I think the Mark Ruffalo character, like the real guy, I think he committed suicide after the movie came out.
This one's really easy to figure out by who is his handler and obviously the villain in the center.
Also, the guy who's playing the guy. It is Hellboy, correct.
Well, but there's Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, which has most of that cast in it.
Yes, but never mind.
Yeah.
You mentioned this one. So, but our audience is pretty hip to most of these. These are not.
I would say we could
terribly
do
difficult.
comic book spin-offs at one point in time, and this would be top of that list.
We could do.
Yeah.
We could do. It is Logan, of course.
And this one, I will watch again with you any day, buddy, because this is a great movie.
We had a blast on that show. 4 people watched that show, and I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a shit. That movie.
I don't give
awesome.
a fuck. It was an awesome movie to cover. James is on fucking fire, man.
Yeah.
Sideways. I need to rewatch this movie. I know it's a little bit slow.
It's really good, but it's really
a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow. Boba Fett has got this one. It is the conversation, correct. Last one, you gotta have a Bond movie every once in a while. And this one is absolutely my second favorite.
The entire time I see this, I'm like, I want you to crash. I want you to crash. Because he doesn't have a hand on the wheel.
You only live twice. Or you only live as a Japanese person who is 7.5 feet tall.
Explain that to me, you assholes.
It's the movie where Sean Connery went full Mickey Rooney, just a little bit taller.
Yes, he did. Yes,
and to be fair, apart from Goldfinger, this was the second movie that inspired Austin Powers. Like a lot of the ending.
Oh yeah.
Third act was completely ripped off of Dr. No and this movie, You Only Live Twice. It's sometimes even shot for shot, which is absolutely insane. So Alex Ross. I paused it on this one. There was another one that I actually liked a little bit more when he was like sort of facing downward. It's a really cool concept. And one of the things that actually made it into, made sure that we talked about, like, you didn't have to watch the first movie to understand. This was a part of the reason why you could technically not watch the first movie, because if you just paid attention, there's a story told in the sort of these, essentially, the credits, the opening credits, where it actually tells you everything you wanted to know about the first movie that sets you up to actually watching this movie, which was very clever, I think, very apropos, and it was done very comic book style, where you didn't need thought bubbles, you didn't need speech bubbles. It was just a story told in a box, and you inferred from it whatever you needed to infer, but it's pretty obvious what was going on, right? Down to the Uncle Ben scene, the upside down kissing, everything you needed to know, the goblin, all of it. And I liked it. That's it. That's all I have. If you have any notes, we will.
No, we talked about there. This is really kind of easy to pass off. What's interesting is his boss. That's another kind of cameo now. Is Aziz is played by Asif Anvi.
I love that. I love that actor. Was he canceled, or he was sort of deleted out of existence at some point?
I don't know. I know he was on the Daily Show for a long time.
Yeah, I was one of the so-called reporters for
correspondence.
Yeah,
I don't know whatever happened to him, but I know like he kind of got big in like the mid 2010s because of that, and then I haven't heard from him in forever. So
yeah, and
possibly
that whole opening sequence with not Zoe Deschanel.
Emily Deschanel.
That whole
Bones.
Yeah, I know Bones. I've seen like all 12 or 18 seasons of that show.
And that's another series that kind of ended on a bad note. They mentioned Spiderman, the animated series, which did end on a bad note too.
But the whole opening sequence, and I'm gonna move past the whole scene because it's a little bit too long.
It's too long.
All it sets up is essentially the fact that Parker is not doing well after high school. Not really. He's not doing well in college. He's in.
Would you say he is having an issue with his work-life balance?
I think he's in Columbia. It looks like Columbia.
It's Columbia or NYU. It's one
NYU. One of the two. He still works for Jonah, where it's like, you're fired. No, you're rehired. It's like, okay, have a check. Okay, this covers your advance from like last month. That whole setup of I'm destitute. And we know why. Yeah, Becky said it. He's struggling because he can't balance him as Spider-Man and him as Peter Parker. And it takes a long while to establish that. Even the shot with he goes back home to Aunt May, and he's like, "Oh, happy birthday, Peter." And he forgot his own birthday. Now, if you're 55 and you forgot your own birthday, no big deal.
I could say now, even in our age, when we're in our early 40s, you're like, well, even when we say happy birthday, like it doesn't really matter. It's just another fucking day. It's whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's essentially another day. Maybe a little bit more okay if you're in a family and like your wife is like, okay.
Yeah. I did the supposition and setup of Peter having the conversation with Dr. Connors on the campus.
Yes.
And the imperative note, this is why it's really good that Sam Raimi does a really good job of tightening up scripts. So the setup and payoff of how the reason why Peter needs to meet Otto Octavius is because he's writing a paper on him for his class. And then him having that conversation, him being there for that. The only reason why is because Harry is funding Otto's project.
It's sort of a two-prong kind of a way to funnel Peter into talking to Dr. Octavius, essentially. So both his professor and his so-called best friend are kind of...
Who, by the way, Harry is 100% the biggest fucking Nepo baby. I mean, come on. Out of nowhere, like, oh yeah, I'm I'm at the age where I should be a junior in college, but no, I'm the head of special projects for a multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it seems like after the first accident, it was sort of wasn't a calculated business move, more like I'm betting on this guy to get a Nobel Prize.
Because even Harry makes it sound like that. Well, I put all my eggs in one basket. Like I basically just rolled the dice on this guy, and this crackpot made me lose all my money. It's like,
but essentially, Octavius isn't really a crackpot. He is supposed to be a brilliant man. By the way, in one of the early drafts, I didn't mention it before because there's a lot. In one of the early drafts, Octavius was the one that invented the spider that bit Peter Parker.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense.
It didn't really make any sense because he is a physicist, not a biologist.
Yeah.
But we'll put that aside.
But if you want to see really even wackier combinations of the concept of microbiology and spiritual bullshit, see Madam Web. Because, oh boy.
I don't want to watch Madam Web, not even for Sydney Sweeney.
No, seriously. I honestly highly recommend everybody should watch Madam Web once, just because you will laugh your ass off. That movie is hilarious. It's so bad.
Gambit, I love you. He's playing Dr. Octopus.
Yep.
It's so funny because they used Jonah Jameson as
even has
plot device.
Because he's just like, yeah, a guy named Otto Octavius getting 8 arms.
It's so funny because Alfred Molina named every single one of those tentacles.
Oh, definitely.
For sure, because he's such a sort of method actor. One of them is called Flo. I don't know how he got there, but it is what it is. But you know that Sam Raimi's jokes funneled through J.K. Simmons. Just funneled through J.K. Simmons, because J.K. Simmons is such a good actor. If you want him to do crazy fun, like he's doing a comedic bit, but it's not portrayed comedically.
Yeah, like, you have to love it because this is the film that has the meme in it.
This is the meme. I thought it was Spider-Man 1. I completely forgot.
It's 2.
This was the meme. This was like,
are you serious?
You serious? Like, as soon as it came up and I saw the first watch, I saw Tuesday I went to see the Falling. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. Are you serious? Is this the one with the meme? Yeah. Okay. So he used J.K. Simmons as a plot device, or not a plot device, but as a device to get rid of all the Sam Raimi humor about, joking about the comic books and also revering the comic books.
Dumb the script is. Where you're like, okay. So
they set this up pretty perfectly, by the way, where they had that dinner in the sort of conversation between Peter Parker and himself.
With Rosie, who just gets
with Rosie,
murked.
Yes. To set up when the accident does happen and she gets killed, he really doesn't blame himself. I noticed that when I rewatched it.
Yeah.
He really doesn't blame himself at all. And it's his doing that got her killed.
Well, I think that has to do also with the fact that the inhibitor chip that's what I did love about that conversation that they had before it started, was the fact that oh, well, you have this increased AI. Well, what if it were to actually take over your brain? Oh, well, no, I have this inhibitor chip built in that it fried the inhibitor chip. So yeah, it took over.
The other side,
but before this, there are several different bits in this entire film that I'm going to discuss constantly. They're going to piss me off constantly.
Okay.
Because There are how many times that even in 2004 New York that Spider-Man could have gotten caught with his fucking like full mask off. We're not talking about no subway scene, big one, but every single other one we're like, oh, I'm just doing my wash in the fucking laundromat. Sir.
Okay. So
off the get-go, but then
what I'm trying to get to is the other side of that story, or the other side of that. Let's call it another facet of the same thing, where Peter can't control his time because he's been torn from his duty as Spider-Man, and his duty, so-called duty as Peter Parker, is Mary Jane tells him, look, my best friend came to see me twice. My husband came to see me, not husband, my boyfriend came to see me 5 times. But my best friend, who I kind of love secretly, really, never came to see me once.
We're going to talk at length about the character that was robbed the most overall is John Jameson. The man went to the fucking moon, and that seems like the nicest fucking guy in the whole world, and just gets stomped all over.
To me, that's that thing about John Jameson going to the moon is why I felt like, oh, this is totally a 60s storyline. Like, completely. This was completely 60s storyline. We're going to the moon kind of a thing. And kind of reminded me of the last Fantastic Four movie, the First Steps. Sort of like, okay, inspired by the 60s, going to the moon. It's there.
A little bit.
Threaded in, but it's sort of out of time because they don't deal with 60s. They really deal with like current day. I like this bit.
Hal Sparks.
This is just Raimi. This is Raimi. We didn't touch upon. We'll get to the act. We'll fast forward to the
I really think that basically Sam Raimi just told Hal, be like, "You're a PR guy, shoot."
Yes. Now I want to get to. So we get to the moment where we have that show and tell, and we had the accident with the mini sun that he created in a room.
Which, by the way, for an open fusion reaction without an open containment would be like,
death.
You're not talking about that, because what it's going to do is it's going to collapse upon itself, and then it's going to implode, and then from there it's going to cause a micro black hole, which is going to then suck in the entire planet within about anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, kind of.
As it grows.
So, not good. In short terms, not good. And it does causes the accident. But then I stopped at the opportune moment, and you can see what it is. I'll bring it up in just 1 minute. Which this, again, on the second watch, not watch on Monday. This particular watch, it came up and it was so obvious. You guys out there in the chat, I don't know if you rewatched it this week and to prepare for the show. We do. We want you to do. We really do. Like, from the inception of the show, the whole point is everybody's going to watch this thing this week so we can talk about it. No spoilers, no nothing. The really important thing that kind of clicked for me in the second rewatch, again, has to do with Sam Raimi, not his jokeness or his like dark humor. The fact that he did start as a horror film creator, and in his heart, I think he still is a horror film creator.
I would say so. Yeah, that's fair.
Did you notice the copious amount of screams, like a horror film?
Very
last
much
girl
so.
kind of screams.
I will
all
give him
the
credit,
time.
Though, there is not a Wilhelm scream in the movie, though.
None.
I was like,
None.
Sam, you're stepping up your game, buddy. Because I remember the first time I saw this, because I knew that Sam Raimi directed this, and we're getting to your point on this shot, because I'm like, this is 100. It's the entire bit of the Doc Ock operation scene is 100% Evil Dead.
Yes.
And the hand
down
chainsaw.
Down to the, remember in the first one, dragging of the girl with the vines, which wasn't actually kind of repeated, but not actually repeated in Evil Dead 2, which was a kind of a remake of the Evil Dead 1.
Yes.
Right? So remember, she clawed and stuff kind of ground in the floor, which would not happen at all, even in a PVC flooring.
Your nails would pop off.
Would pop off. Yet he did do a nail scratch as if this was like Lady Deathstrike herself. But that entire scene is a full-on horror movie scene that you would see in Evil Dead, that you would see in countless other movies where tentacles come alive and just destroy the room. And of course, you had to put in the fucking,
hand like where it looks like, because it's a handheld one, so it looks like his hands cut off, so it looks like Ash Williams. Yeah, it's like
exactly.
Okay, I see what you're doing, buddy. I see what you're doing.
This, I wanted to get to this. The aesthetics of this particular building with wrought iron and everything, this was full-on inspiration from Metropolis.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Full on. Now, it's contained in one building, but the fact that it's like wrought iron, and in the final scene where you can definitely see like pieces of iron flying all over the place, it really hammers home that entire aesthetic, which was very unique, because in the middle of it, you have this high-tech kind of fusion thing happening, but also it's a kind of, it's not a magnet, because it's a gravitational thing happening.
Which is so odd, because there are so many questions you have to ask about his entire procedure. Like, you're not working in a clear environment. Any kind of particle could interfere with your experiment.
But I do love the aspect of it's the AI kind of controlling him, but it's not really controlling him. It's more like
feeding into his
they're
mind.
convincing him that he needs to do something at certain points. He's like, they're supplying his conviction. They're supplying his sort of like, oh, they're the devil on the shoulder thing, but they also enable everything that he wants to do. Especially when he gets the enough money and starts to build everything, and every single arm is just doing something else while he's doing something else entirely as well.
But what's so odd too is you just have to think of the logistics where, like, you get the money, who the hell are you buying this shit from?
Now,
and how the hell are you getting it delivered? And also, gold doubloons, apparently.
Yes. Why? I did not understand this.
Also, this too, like, doesn't make sense because Dr. Otto Octavius in itself, but besides his obviously the appendages that are attached to him, has no actual kind of real superpowers besides his intellect. So when he gets hit in the chest with a bag of those thrown by Spider-Man directly there, you just broke 4 of his ribs. He's not going to be able to barely breathe, let alone fight.
I'm guessing foreign business way out of... No. Actually, no. Not anymore. Not since 1972.
The gold standard is gone.
The gold standard gone bye-bye by this point. Now, I wanted to stop at a different point, but we can talk about this point.
We just did the Joe McHale scene, but there's one point in that I did want to bring up, which Joel McHale's character brought up really eloquently, which is very perfect. Everyone in Peter's life must think he's the biggest coward and the biggest fucking asshole, because even then, Joel was like, hell of a grandson you've got. He ran away to leave you here to die.
Yeah. And he says it bluntly.
Yeah.
It's like he's not pulling any punches. He's just outright saying it. I wanted to get to this point because it actually accentuates the CGI in this. Now, if you look at Doc Ock, he looks very strange, a la Matrix Revolutions. Remember that scene? Or is it Matrix? No, Matrix Reloaded.
So
in the
Reloaded
scene with
was
the multiple Smiths.
That
It
was
kinda
Revolutions. That was
No,
Revolutions.
that was Reloaded. The second one. It's the second one. He goes to the
Oh,
Seraph
the
and then he
first
goes
time
to the
of the
courtyard.
multiples. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
you were
he
talking
goes-
about the ultimate fight with all of the multiple Smiths versus
That's
Neo.
the end. That's the end.
That's
one.
Revolutions. Okay.
That's Revolutions. But the one in the courtyard where it's
Oh, yeah.
obviously CGI. This was it. If you look at Doc Ock at this particular moment, you're like, it kind of looks funny. The issue is Spider-Man looks much better CGI wise than the first one, for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And this scene is so minute and very, very, very short. You don't have time to like wait and see all the problems with it.
But oddly enough, though, if you look at that shot right there looks better than the CGI that was in Thor: Love and Thunder.
No comment.
I'm not wrong.
Aunt May. The actress.
This right there, I'm like, wait, they're gonna pull a Gwen Stacy with Aunt May right now? Because this old bitch is dead.
Yes. And also, when it came to stunt work, I said Tobey did about 70-80% of his own stunts. She did some of her stunts too. This lady. And she
Rosemary
said,
Harris, yes, I got your name. Good on you.
And she called Alfred Molina out for not liking to do his own stunts. She's like, I could do it. Why don't you do it?
Like, I'm 35 to 40 years older than you. Get up there.
Yeah. Molina said, because I'm a big oaf and it wouldn't look right on camera because he's so method.
Get out of your head.
I'm just saying there are ways to get out of doing your own stunts.
Yeah.
And Molina found a very good one.
It wouldn't seem real.
All right. One of the things that happened after the fight.
Yeah, this right here. This is one of those shots where I'm like, you're just mask off, and I know it's supposed to be a random alleyway somewhere, but I mean, you're in a very densely populated city. Someone's gonna fucking see you, man.
But this is just to accentuate the fact that there were moments in the bank where he couldn't get his webs out, and then he goes into this alley and starts to climb, and then he fucking falls. And he's like, what is happening here? Now, if you're attuned to what Raimi was trying to tell you, you're like, yes, he loves Mary Jane. He can't handle the time stuff. And then he is completely disappointed when he finds out she is about to marry this, not only this other dude, but also the son of his boss.
Who's also a fucking astronaut who is like, it also seems like a genuinely good guy. So you're like,
So
MJ, just like the first Indiana Jones film, at the end of the film, she chose poorly.
She chose
with Peter. Bad idea.
And then, of course,
this scene. Okay, you did get this scene with the doctor. Okay.
Yes. this whole scene where he talks to the doctor and he's like, I dreamt I was Spider-Man, and then
but no, it was actually my friend who dreamt he was Spider-Man and was falling. It's like, so what does your friend say when that? But I did love, like, even the subtle dig there, like, well, I talked to my shrink. What does he say? No, what does she say?
Anyway,
in
I didn't even think it was
I'm like,
ED.
wow, okay, all right.
I didn't even think it was ED. I think the doctor didn't know he was Spider-Man. But
no. It's more of just it's performance anxiety, depending on whatever you're trying to get on with the next stage in your life. You know, like it could be a performer who is a musician who's like I have massive stage fright now because of something that happened. You know, it's a trauma that triggers that, or there's a mental block there. And it's clear this and this whole Uncle Ben fucking heaven scene.
I know why they put it there, but they could have just not put it there. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of this is the sentence that drives Spider-Man to do anything he does. So if there's any moral issue, it's with great power comes great responsibility. And with great power comes great responsibility. Everybody is sick of that fucking sentence.
There is the whole thing where, starting with the fact where he starts losing his powers through all this cut out, cut it. It's all fat, no filler. Doesn't need to be here at all.
Yeah, I think so too.
That also, even though I love that actor who they're like, oh my God, is it Johnny Cash? No,
it's not Johnny Cash. No. Who thought it was Johnny Cash?
No, I'm messing around because he kind of looks like Johnny Cash in his later years. But
anyway, the whole point of this is it flows from the Doctor into this, and this is sort of like Peter is being introspective, trying to find out why he's losing his powers and why he's that whole thing, and this flows again into leaning him into the fact that, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to be Superman. I don't want to be Spider-Man. I don't want the whole world on my shoulders because I have this power.
And also, I'm like, oh my God, are you just the dumbest motherfucker in the whole goddamn world? No, I'm gonna take the spider suit off that I wore countless times. It has my DNA all over it, and I'm gonna put it in a trash can where anybody could find it.
He washed it first. He puts it away, and then you've got that sequence where you mentioned
falling on my head. What? Why?
This sequence. Now, I talked to you backstage about this, right? We talked about this scene backstage.
Yes.
This is a scene that got repeated in Spider-Man 3. This one is more of
version of it. Yeah.
This one is the happy-go-lucky. I've got the weight off my shoulders. Raindrops keep falling on my head, and I don't care. Blah blah blah. I even fall all over myself because I'm a big doofus, and I'm a big klutz. But in Spider-Man 3, where he has the symbiote in him without knowing he's got the symbiote in him, he goes completely crazy. He has the same walk, but in Spider-Man 3, it's sort of a Saturday Night Fever strut.
Yes,
and this one is more. And let's just say this: in this one, Tobey Maguire is a little bit more believable than the other one.
Yeah, 100%. And in Spider-Man 3, he looks like an emo Ellen.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Yeah. So the glasses come back on, and it's a little bit.
But then they had the thing too, where the full montage there, and then they had the sitcom freeze frame on his face too, where like Sam Raimi's just like, "Are you getting the references here that I'm just making you guys eat up?"
Yeah, and it seems like he's having the best sort of like the best day of my life because it's like everything falls into place. I suddenly have time to go to class and, be productive. And then he goes off and watches Mary Jane's show so much so that she
Which, by the way,
recognizes him.
Is a fucking dick move.
Why?
No, going to see the play's fine, but like, I just got engaged, and you're going like, hey, let's go out and on a date now. Now hey, listen, look at me, I've changed.
Yeah.
Dick move, Peter.
Well, and this whole leads to the moment where we kind of see the other side of the aisle where she doesn't say she loves him, but she acts like
it's clear.
I don't really want to be with my future husband, kind of a thing.
John, who's like a national hero.
And he's also Sharon Stone's cousin. No, just kidding. That's a different movie.
No, but so the John, who is J. Jonah James's son, did nothing wrong. In fact, at one point in time, she goes, "Why don't you invite that Peter guy that you know to the wedding?" Like, oh, well, no, he's just a jerk. And also, by the way, they got engaged. They got wedding invitations back with confirmations within 3 days, and they're getting married in 2 weeks.
To be fair, you don't see the time lapse. To be fair, I love this bit because
from the way it's going, and also this street performer made me want to punch my. Oh god, I wanted to punch my monitor so hard.
She went with the whole original animated series song,
but
that everybody knows.
The entire time I was watching this, people in the chat might remember this. It was when South Park, they got Master and Trey Parker, were supporting a random Chinese singer. And they had her because they were doing a thing where they were talent agents, and they had her she would sing ABBA's songs. And she would do so, but she was like, so what we can do is we're going to put her on Sylvester Stallone's The Fighter, where she was getting the shit beat out of her, but she kept singing Dancing Queen the entire time. But it was a whole bit about how abusive agents are. They'll put their clients through anything, but at the end it was Wing or whatever her name was, and a big spot for her website, and it crashed it for 4.5 days.
Okay.
But that street performer just reminded me of her because you can't hit a note to save your life, baby. No, you can't.
Okay.
No, it's bad.
I think it was done on purpose that she can't hit the notes.
I would hope so. But
we'll put that aside.
I don't know.
So,
but in the interim, while you're finding those, moving on from there was the bit with Uncle Ben's grave. And how?
Yeah, I moved past. Again, it felt like a lot of filler to me.
I would say the only thing that's really important about that was the fact that Peter came clean about the real story about Uncle Ben's death to Aunt May. That's the only important part about that entire sequence.
And it seems to me, story-wise, for Aunt May, I think it kind of gave her some sort of a closure, because as soon as he said that sentence, later on, it's like, okay, I'm moving on. I'm moving house.
Yeah, I'm getting to the house, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting a fresh start. That whole deal where it was like, oh, she finally dealt with what happened and she got closure because she got the truth. And it's sort of, to her, like in Peter's position, where sort of something lifted off her back, some sort of weight that was weighing her down. And she even says in the past 2 years since she died, which gives us a time reference, which, and yeah, she kind of moves on, and that kind of flows and leads into something really interesting just before the whole train bit happens. Is Doc Ock gets the trinium he needs, or gets a deal with Harry Osborn to get the trinium he needs, because he needs more than what he did in the original test, obviously. And Harry Osborn offers, the trinium in return to getting back and knowing who Spider-Man is. So give me Spider-Man and I'll give you the trinium and you can do whatever you want.
The one thing I have a major problem with there is, if he knows how priceless this trinium is, why didn't he just turn around and sell that and then get some mercs to find Spider-Man anyway? Since he was...
Because he is not Norman as Osborn, he is Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
You mentioned it yourself.
Yeah. Well, as a side note, James, if you're looking for that, it's a super awesome talent agency episode of South Park. And the singer's name is Wing. Yeah.
I want to get to this. So you kind of saw the background where you got the shot of the newspaper that says crime is 75% up, because all the criminals in New York know, well, Spider-Man just quit. Because
that also, so they were
Jameson
just not
so.
committing any crime whatsoever across the entire span of... Do you know how large New York City is? And this motherfucker cannot fly at supersonic speeds.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, let's just call it what it is. The criminals know that there's no one besides the police that can get him.
Carte blanche, you're free to go.
So somebody set fire to the friend's house.
Hey, so again, I would love it if somebody like, no one told me life was going to be this way.
So no one told me life was going to be this way and set fire to my house.
My life's a joke. I'm broke.
I thought it was fun. It's not the friend's house, but it kind of looks like it, and it's funny.
It does look like a brownstone. It
is a brownstone, but it's a different one. Plus, it's in a fucking soundstage at Universal and Warner Brothers. One of them
was at Columbia, which is owned by
Columbia,
Sony,
probably. Yeah. So Peter has a situation. Do I go in with essentially no powers, or do I walk away? Because there was a moment where he walked out of he walked out of the universe. No. It was after Mary Jane. She left with John. He looked at two muggers robbing a guy or hitting a guy, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
And this is the same deal. This is like, am I walking away or trying to do something? And what convinced him is it's a kid that is in there. And that's a theme throughout, because at the very beginning, he saves a couple of kids. He's like,
so what you're saying is Spider-Man has a thing for kids. All right.
Stop. It's all about Spider-Man. In terms of the superheroes, one of the things that is, I think Spider-Man is like the number one brand of superheroes in the world. Not seriously.
He's
number
up there,
two is number 2 is Batman, and Superman is below that.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man was or is the number one superhero brand in the world. And one of the things that is so prevalent is the why kids love Spider-Man so much. And it's a theme throughout the first movie and the second movie, where the kids are why he does it. He saves people because the admirations the kids have for him, because he is lovable, your neighborhood friendly Spider-Man.
Well, there's right? Even that entire bit too, where he's going to MJ's play first, where he gets hit by the car while he's on his bike and he flips up. Thank you, Paula. Yes, I know. I am not a fan of Spider-Man either, but they even have that little interjection where the two little kids are like, "How'd you do that, Mister?" It's like, "Well, no, because they make green vegetables." Well, my mom told me that, but I didn't believe her. Yeah. Paul, you got him.
That's exactly what you just said with the two kids. Like, you did that off of broccoli? Like, yes.
Well, that's what my mom said, but I didn't believe her.
Yeah. That is totally kids shit.
Yeah.
That is totally kids shit. And it's very much what I'm saying is that tiny conversation between those kids and essentially non-Spider-Man Spider-Man is what essentially is the relationship or the coexistence, we'll call it, because you are fucking dirty head, between kids and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, he goes into as essentially as just Peter Parker himself, even though he does kind of have some kind of strength, like how he could one arm hold and then lift the baby up over. And then I have to love the whole thing where the toddler essentially helps kind of pull him up. I got you.
Yeah.
Like,
I
okay,
got you, buddy.
that's a cute scene. But what really got him was the guy saying, "Oh no, well, there was a guy up on the 4th floor, couldn't make it out." And because he's thinking, if I had my powers, if I was Spider-Man, I could have saved him.
Yeah, but the thing about it is this the moment where he drops his glasses and he can see better, which is indicative of...
No, that's after
that's later.
Otto
That's
takes MJ. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This scene with the Russian girl and the cake.
I think her name is Ingrid. I think.
I don't know. No, she's Russian. Her dad is Russian.
Yeah.
Her dad is like Mr. Dostoevsky or something.
Yes. Do you have a friend?
Played by the guy who plays Russians all the time in every movie. He played Russian in Moscow on the Hudson. He plays a Russian in Austin Powers. He plays Russian guys. Anyway, and by the way, I love him.
I would say he's the guy who is typecast as a Russian only as much as Peter Stormare.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Peter Stormare is like Norwegian.
Yeah.
That whole scene with the cake went nowhere.
See, that's another scene that could have been cut completely, and it was only because he got a mess. Like, it could have been like not like, do you want a piece of cake and some milk? You're like, no, here, I got you a message.
That's it. The whole point is just to give him the message, and she just could have knocked with the cake and said, "Here, I made this for you, and also this message." That's it.
Yeah.
But there's sort of a back and forth. Like I said, it went nowhere. She's not his new girlfriend. She's not trying to be. She saw her fumbling like a piece of something when he went to the guy about the rent. It's like, this goes nowhere, and I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Maybe was 3 being written simultaneously because she has a small role in 3.
I don't know.
I
probably, if I would have done research on number 3, maybe there was something there, but I don't know. It's just that particular scene bugged me. The rest of it, I can get as a filler. This one was particularly egregious.
Yeah.
But
speaking of a scene right here that could be cut out completely is him going back to the house and Aunt May packing up everything. Cut completely.
No,
this is supposed to be like
because
part of his...
the kid is again the reminder of why Spider-Man is still needed.
Yeah, James, that's the one that I watched. So yeah. There's some stuff in there that you haven't touched on yet that you kind of glossed over that I figured that wasn't in the theatrical cut.
Yeah, I'm moving past. Otherwise, we'll be here
what I'm thinking is
for every movie. It's like forever.
That would have been fine if that would have been set up prior to the fire scene, because I thought the fire scene was more impactful than just a kid going, "Well, you know what? I want to be Spider-Man one day." Okay. It's more important the fact no, I could have saved someone's life if I would have been Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is when he went into that burning building, he kind of felt like, my spidey senses are tingling kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. He had that conversation with Aunt May and the kid, and he's like, I think my powers are back. I think I could go back to it. And then he
does the whole,
he goes
back.
he goes like full Neo in the Matrix, and everybody falls the first time, even though it's not really his first time.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and they go into the whole my back bit, which was hilarious. If you know
the backstory.
Oh, what I've told you about
backstory.
Yeah. However, even not knowing, I kind of figured out it's that injury, because I remembered he remembered him saying, even in the first movie, that he had like, it was tough for him physically. Or maybe I'm thinking about the third one, which was the most egregious one, and why he didn't why they actually retired Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is not because Spider-Man 3 was not a critical success. Because if you take all three of them, the most successful financially was the third one. He made more money than the second one.
Yeah.
Straight out. I think Tom Connors can back me up on that. But Toby couldn't. First of all, he was signed to 3. Second of all, for Spider-Man 2, he got $17 million. Let's put it that way.
All right, that's
the third one. They
yeah.
asked for 25. I'm not sure he got it. I might do research. There was a whole thing about his agent and Seabiscuit and that whole ordeal.
Wow, agents coming in and fucking people over.
Yeah,
there's a theme this month so far.
No, not fucking people over, fucking movies over.
Yeah,
because they want their cut from whatever they want to get to their actor or actress. So he didn't get back, not because just of the money and his agent, but because I can't do this shit and I want to do my own stunts. Otherwise, it wouldn't be believable. I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit.
That, or he could at least like do some voiceovers, then voiceover for Spider-Man if you like the character. This bit too, like doing the upside down kiss. I can see it there, like MJ trying to recapture that, but she doesn't know if that's Peter. She doesn't know it's Spider-Man is
No,
Peter.
I wasn't even thinking about Peter. I wasn't even really thinking about Peter.
Yeah.
I think out of the 3 people, we'll divide it into 3. John, Peter, and Spidey. I think she loves Spidey the most.
Oh yeah, she's.
Let's just call it that. She doesn't try to, I don't know, get back to the high school sweetheart that she had, which is Peter Parker, which wasn't really her. He was her best friend in high school. Not really. Not a love interest. But the real love interest is Spidey.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And when we get to the end of the movie and she sees him without the mask, but with the suit.
I think I always knew. It's like,
don't lie. Don't lie.
Yeah.
And at this moment, again, the scene wasn't necessary, but it is. Because at this particular moment, this sets up the entire end sequence of her not showing up for her own wedding.
That scene I did not. Yeah, go ahead.
She kisses him. She looks up, and you can see in her, because say what you want, I do like her acting. Kirsten Dunst. She needs to have a type of role or something. The girl can act.
Yeah, well,
because as soon as she lifts up her head, you can tell in her eyes she's not in love with this man.
Yeah, because I thought she was. I mean, even when she was actually a child, is in Interview with the Vampire as Claudia. I thought she was fantastic in it.
I agree. let's move forward a little bit. So they're on a date.
Well, no, she invites him out for coffee, and they're like, it's kind of said and done, but this is where Peter's going, listen, okay, I've got to put this to bed right now, because if I don't, it's going to go somewhere where I can't come back from this. And again, he's choosing to protect her by saying, you know what, I don't love you. I don't love you.
Yes. Where you could tell, again, man, I used to not like Tobey Maguire at all. I love doing these shows because you can definitely tell who's acting and who's not acting.
Yeah. Well, this right here, from that somber scene immediate to where he actually has a spider sense basically tingle because the car is coming through. I thought that was really well done. That shot was
I think so too. I think so too, because that sort of there's a moment where the whole premise of him being in love with MJ, and he kind of get the inkling of, oh, it is reciprocal, but I still have to protect her, gets him back into the Spidey sense thing. So he gets his mojo back.
Yes, yeah. This is definitely a Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me thing.
This is absolutely.
You took my mojo.
Yeah, really, I think so, because at this moment where it's sort of Doc Ock picks up again with the screams are horror movie screams, not a Wilhelm screams, not fucking jokey joke stuff.
And these are all actually like Kirsten Dunst actually doing the screams. These are not prefab. So
yes. And as soon as this happens, he loses he dropped the glasses and they kind of fall.
They were already half cracked and he threw them down because his vision went blurry again.
Yes.
Because oh, yep, I'm back. And then he goes when he goes to J. Jonah Jameson's office to get his costume back.
Yeah.
It was JJ actually having his entire moment of self-retrospection going, yeah, the only one who could actually save her would be Spider-Man. And I scared off a hero.
A hero who's a thief.
Yeah, the thief. And also be like, dude, I would definitely, with what J. Jonah Jameson was doing in that costume, I'd get it definitely dry cleaned first. Because he's living out some fantasies there.
This is straight out of a comic book to me.
Oh yeah.
This entire blocked scene where you see the costume, it turns to Jonah, and then he says he's a thief, and then it turns it to this, and then you see the close up of the note where it says thank you, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And straight out of this is a 3 or 4 cubes on a comic
panels,
book.
Yeah,
Panel. It's a full-on panel. This shot. This is fucking great. The thing about this movie, and we'll do a pause here. The thing about this movie, on a side note, when the stuff is good, it is very good. When the stuff doesn't really make sense, it's not bad, but you can definitely edit it away and it wouldn't actually bother the flow of the story.
Yeah.
Now you have to have those moments.
Yeah.
But those moments, instead of a full-on 5 minutes, it could be shortened into 2, and you can, tighten up that script or tighten up those scenes and make the movie much more snappier and fucking way more impactful.
I would say too is a lot of those scenes that could be cut away, like some of them are very like extraneous kind of superfluous fluff that you get that are kind of like pandering to kids, and for like saving children randomly, like the entire like half of the pizza scene at the beginning, that's part of it, and some of the other stuff too where it's like, Sam Raimi, we love you, my friend, but this is supposed to be a Spider-Man movie. We don't need so many things where you're like, listen, man, do you need to come in for a cameo? Do you need some work?
And the whole point is there's a lot. Well, we can save that till the end, but there's a lot of stuff that I know what you were going for, but God damn it, you
Missed the mark.
used 10 sentences instead of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, pause. We'll play our second game of the night. You know it. You love it. Well, I love it. It is called Cinema Deathmatch.
Round 1, fight.
Wait, we're bringing it back now officially?
I brought it back like that.
Let's go.
Cinema Deathmatch is where we have 2 movies in a vacuum. No. Hold. See, it ruins my flow. We have 2 movies, pit them together and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the 2, both of them are good or both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Saturday evening, Friday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. 2 movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? Cinema Deathmatch is the new old name. Last Action Hero or The Final Destination. Again, this is not Final Destination. This is a standalone movie.
Yes. So this
done,
should be
done after Final Destination
4?
3?
3 or
4?
4?
3? One of them.
Yeah, it's a standalone, and then they did a reboot late. Yeah, you know, it's odd because chat's reading my mind. I think Last Action Hero is one of Arnie's most underrated films. I really enjoy that movie because it is exactly what you get on the tin.
I still haven't done my I have half written it. Last Action Hero is for boys. Barbie is for girls. Same story.
Yeah, that's a fair assertion.
We kind of talked about it, but
we talked about it. Yeah,
I've half written it. Come on, here we go. Good Morning Vietnam or Wallace and Gromit: The Wrong Trousers. I think that's the second one or the first one. I don't remember.
I do believe that's the second one, and that's not really a full film. That's a really interesting Japanese version of Good Morning Vietnam, though.
Let's go. Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's what I know you have not seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Better Off Dead or Stanley Kubrick's version of Lolita.
This one, very easy for me. Because it's a film that I've been wanting to talk to you about for forever. Better Off Dead.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. People have to remember John Cusack, mid 80s till about 2000s. If you put him in the correct role, he is fantastic.
Yep. We've got 3 films already for a Cusack month that we have not done, and this is one of them. Chat can guess the
Not
others.
gonna lie, I don't like the original version of Lolita. I prefer the Jeremy Irons version.
I think that's better too.
It's way creepier. Way creepier. Yeah. Better Off Dead. I need to rewatch Better Off Dead. All right. Polar Express or The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to say on a whim, it's definitely not The Polar Express. I'm just
going to say, if you wanted to watch it, if you wanted to watch an actual horror film, then you watch the Polar Express. Be like, oh my God, that's Tom Hanks. Ah.
All right, this is much better.
Okay,
Saving Silverman.
This one's
or
not
The
fair.
Perfect Storm.
The Perfect Storm is actually it's actually a short story by Stephen King.
Yep, I know.
Yep.
Star the original, like who's starring it? Is it Kevin Costner and what's his face? Ashton Kutcher, right? Is that the one?
No, I thought George Clooney was in The Perfect Storm.
George Clooney was in The Perfect Storm? I don't remember.
But regardless, I would go Saving Silverman because that movie is. I love that movie. I worked at a theater at the time, and I saw that movie in the theater so many times.
I'm actually surprised that you picked this one. This was we're giving Jason Biggs the same kind of role like for 4 years straight, and we don't even give a fuck at all. At all.
Thanks, James.
Oh, that's right. George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg. The other one, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a storm in the sea, and I always conflate the two. Movies that I've watched once and it's like, eh.
That would be an interesting month. This would be like odd 2000s comedies because Saving Silverman would definitely be on that list. Come on, don't even. No.
Like, I don't even care if you like the other one. Okay. X-Men Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine or The Four Seasons. Now, have you seen The Four Seasons?
Yes, have you?
I have a long time ago. And I could tell you what, I could do without it. I can take weird ass, no mouth Deadpool and not watch another Alan Alda movie. I'm going to pick X-Men Origins Wolverine.
You know, just because of this, there are so many stories behind Wolverine that I'm going to have to go for that. But I actually like the Four Seasons.
Not for me. Last one. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do another one because this one's too easy. Yeah. Pick it. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh, fight time.
Okay. This is the one, not specifically this one. This is the one where you're like, okay, this entire premise of this game is built on the impossible choice of I really love both of these movies for two completely different reasons, and I can find reasons to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I know what you're going to pick eventually, but you might surprise me.
Really, really, really mad at me, but as we discussed during our review of Shaun of the Dead, I don't think it's the best of the Cornetto trilogy.
Okay.
That's Hot Fuzz.
I mean, I agree with you.
And I don't think Mike Judge did any better than Idiocracy. I'm going to have to go Idiocracy.
You surprised me, my man. Because
really?
I thought you were going to go with the horror film option.
No. As much as I love Shaun of the Dead, I was like, once you get the shtick down, it gets a little dry at sometimes. Some bits you're like, okay, it's a bit much. I do still love obviously Winchester.
Okay.
But Idiocracy, there is just something about that movie.
Paul is like, you have chosen wisely. I think that Idiocracy is the best work Mike Judge has ever done in a movie.
I would
think
agree with that.
Animation, I know people love King of the Hill. I know some people go into Beavis and Butthead. To me, it's always been Beavis and Butthead in terms of animation. Yeah. I'm biased in that regard, so take it for what it is. Idiocracy is such a great movie that only a section of like a population actually knows it. And for the wider audience, they don't actually know this movie. And it's a goddamn shame.
And what's so funny too is his other one, which I would put up there if it was more kind of more common culture now as it was even then, would be Office Space. Like Office Space is a great movie.
Side by side, I would pick this one.
As our guess at the time, it was like with the first time I saw Office Space, I didn't get half the jokes because it didn't work in an office. And once it started to, I'm like, now I get it. And now it's like, it's kind of making me mad, but wow, this is a really, really funny movie. And it makes a lot more sense. Like, yeah, but with Idiocracy, you just get it.
Yeah, that's the point of it. That's the real point of it. All right.
All I know is Brondo has what plants crave. It has electrolytes.
Exactly. What are electrolytes?
All
right.
It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave. Okay.
And President Macho Camacho. I mean,
so we get to the train scene, okay? Because of stuff that happened, we get to the train scene. The train scene took a lot of time.
Yes.
A lot.
Oh,
first,
there is one cameo that we didn't mention that is really kind of pertinent to us because
Joey
fucking Coco Diaz.
Essentially it's not really a cameo because nobody knew who Joey was back then.
He's kind of an extra.
I mean, he has one line. He had more lines to just cut him away.
Yeah.
And so Peter has something that burned his mask, so he took off the mask. That was the excuse. That was the setup. Then he tries to, stop the car. Nobody questions him without the mask when stuff is happening at this particular point, right? Nobody. And only when the action kind of stops.
No, when they do the whole Spider-Man Jesus moment. Carry him on his shoulders back after he stops the train because he's exhausted.
That's what I'm saying. This bit.
Yeah.
This bit. So they carry him like Jesus. He drop him down and it's like he's just a kid. Yeah, it's just a kid. And he wakes up is like, okay.
Don't worry, we're not gonna tell anybody. It's 2004. Someone's got a camera cell phone on that train, and somebody snapped a pic and just be like, "I'm selling this to the highest fucking bidder."
Flip phone. Everybody had the flip phone. That had a decent camera, by the way. Had a really decent camera. Yeah, of course.
So this was like early, like mid 2000s when this is filming. So maybe only one or two of them did, but somebody did. Somebody had a fucking camera phone.
Yeah. And by the way, this is not Big Pussy from The Sopranos. That's Joey Diaz.
No, that is Joey fucking Coco Diaz.
If you don't know, you really have to.
You need to learn.
So Doc Ock was like, okay, no problem. He puts his, tentacles and moves everybody away, takes Peter and delivers him to Harry Osborn. And of course, Harry wants to know who he kills.
And again, when Harry opens the safe with that giant fucking ball of tritium, where I'm like, so that has to be worth like billions, right? So
yes,
why do you have it just in a safe inside your fucking house? That'd be like me go like, hey, I'm just walking around with some plutonium in my pocket. Not a big deal. It's whatever.
Now, at this particular moment, he knew he fucked up. No, this moment where we see James Franco's brain fry because Harry Osborn cannot compute the fact that his best friend is also his nemesis. It's not really a nemesis because Spider-Man didn't want to do anything to him at all.
Yeah.
At all. It's like he's the one that killed my dad and it broke his brain. Let's just say Civil War did it a little bit better.
Well, also, which Civil War?
What do you mean?
The film
Not
Civil
books,
War?
The movie.
The movie, yes. The movie. Also in the books, yes.
I know. Don't get it. We need to finish in about 7 minutes, so don't get me started. But it sets up the entire last act. Yeah, I know, James. It's Captain America. Yes, the moment where Tony watches the tape or his brain is broke because the Winter Soldier killed his parents.
He sees Bucky kill his parents. The other thing too is
same kind of deal with what happened there with James Franco.
It's also how the fuck like he asked Harry like help me stop him. Harry doesn't know where the fuck Otto is, so Peter just figures it out.
So Peter goes out to this weird gothic warehouse where stuff happens. He knocks out Octavius and
no, he makes it like throw the spine into like again. They have the dagger bit a couple of times throughout this, where it's a callback to the first film with the Goblin Glider. But no, he electrocutes himself, so it basically like fries part of the control that the tentacles have over him, so he's able to reassert control. So essentially, like that, I think the best bit is Molina's line where he takes the entire. Basically the entire experiment down with him into the river going, I will not die a monster. I'm like, that's a great line.
Yeah. And to be fair, if you go back to the conversation with the wife, that's a great setup because in that conversation, he mentions the fact that I don't remember the name of they talk about inventors. And one of them is like, I want to go. He says, I'll probably go down in the river with my invention. Or something like that. And was like, that's a weird foreshadowing of a story that you kind of invented in your mind about some inventor that said it. I don't remember who he refers it to, but that was kind of a foreshadowing. And that is something that I caught, again, rewatching movies and trying to analyze them is so much fun because you find all the stuff that you really don't really catch when you watch it the first time, which is always fun.
See, James, I thought that completely different because that was his saving grace there. Because that was the basically the redemption arc that was done in less than a minute and a half of Dr. Otto Octavius. And
maybe because it was way too fast, people didn't quite like it. I don't know.
No, I think it makes perfect sense because like he was actually able to regain control of his own mind. Then I was like, okay, well now he's no longer under any kind of control. Then he's able to revert back. That bit there, that face, I do love that line there because there is that snarky little bit that Sam Raimi had to throw in. This is really heavy.
Yeah. I actually, low key, I actually like this moment where he's literally lifting a side of a building from wrought iron, and she's wearing like essentially she's got a 2x4 on her stomach. And she just could have slid it aside and leave. It's like, hi, Peter. Hi, MJ. This is very heavy. Please move is the next line, but he doesn't really say it.
Yeah.
But this comes after she saw him without the mask and she realized what was happening. And her head also broke like Harry Osborn for a little bit, just for a little bit. And like I said, she is a pretty decent actress. I don't know what they don't cast her in anything. Maybe she is actually hard to work with behind the scenes.
Could be. But so we have that Otto pulling the reaction into the water.
The reaction he falls into.
By the way, would not resolve any of the problems at all because it would still collapse upon itself. It's a fission reaction, uncontained.
Maybe the water in the Hudson, put it off.
Because there's so much bad shit in the Hudson. They're like, yeah. Even the reaction is like, nah, I'm good, man.
That river has bodies, but also it kills.
Yes.
This river will kill. No, just kidding. I was just laughing because I know that a full fusion reaction will not, like, putting it in the river does not do it.
It's not a fire.
It's not. It's the sun. It's sun-like, not the sun. Also, you wouldn't put off the sun if you pour water on it.
No, because it was already self-contained and it was already creating its own pull, would just feed itself.
But also, New York does not have an L.
No.
Same logic.
Fair enough.
What I wanted to get to is this.
So the one bit
where they're
that kind of got me, because I'm always going to throw this up whenever we talk about Spider-Man, is how the fuck did they swing away? There's no tall buildings in sight that he could whip away to.
Stop. It's the least of your worries. It's this conversation which actually was really good.
Oh, by the way, do you get it now? I'm Spider-Man. We're on a web. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yes, Calicchio. That's a really good question. There are no tall buildings there. Correct. This particular scene, to me, always mirrored the scene in the coffee house where he said, "I don't love you," but he was really saying, "I protect you from this." Where in this scene is the mask is essentially off, because he does say, "I do love you, but I'm protecting you." Same conversation. One of them is with a mask. The other one is without the mask, even though in both of them, he doesn't really have a mask on.
Yeah, and this I thought you'd find interesting, just to interject as a point from the comics. This is a shot that is very reminiscent of that Spider-Man tales that you mentioned from behind the screens. So there actually is that shot with him and MJ on a spider web. So, yeah.
I actually do know that shot, and I've watched the panel. Yeah. I watched it's not a panel. It's a splash page.
Splash page. Yeah, fair enough. But we do have Harry with we have Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Which
this is the very end of the movie. Again, the cameo of Willem Dafoe that wasn't essentially supposed to be there, but it led up to Harry Osborn finding the stash of the Green Goblin. Plus, if you notice, there is one vial of the green
Goblin serum. Yeah.
Goblin serum. Yeah, I know. Green
Which the entire time too, wouldn't he be going like, "Holy shit, my dad was the Green Goblin"?
Exactly. Maybe that's why Peter killed him, because he was a bad
actually
man.
He didn't kill him. And maybe I should talk to Peter about this, because my dad tried to murder people.
But also, I love the serious amount of balls, the goblin balls there. I absolutely love that.
There's so many grenades, goblin grenades, just like racks of them. Like he was prepped to do this.
Yeah.
And then we have just the scene with the wedding bits. And the only one I wanted to mention about that is there is an odd cameo by the best, I would say, the matron of honor, kind of her co-star that was in the film. The only reason why I know her name and know the actress's face is because she was the lead actress in Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof.
Death Proof. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
She was the girl at the bar that
Look at the Maids of Honor. She's not there. I know what you were going for. I looked for her too.
Because she came down the aisle running, so I figured that she's the one who got the note. Then
she was the one that at the very beginning of the movie came out through the back door of the Broadway play that they did and talked to her, and you can see them from afar because Peter's looking at them.
Oh,
so I know.
Okay, that's in the 2.1 version. Then because there's a scene where that MJ is talking to her about that, like when they get engaged, when she gets engaged to John.
So
there's a scene where she has like, "So what do you mean you decided to say yes?" Well, it felt like at the right time, like, well, you should be in love with him. Like you should say like he's my everything.
She's not in the theatrical cut.
Okay,
she has
that makes a lot. It makes a lot more sense with her giving the note in. Okay, yeah.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So MJ appears at Peter Parker's place. where she kind of tells him,
was there
I
the
can
entire
deal
she
with
ran
it.
through the, like Central Park wearing the dress? Where I'm like, what movie are you making, Sam?
Fun one, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know what it is. I could have done without that scene, to be honest.
Yeah, and the makeout session, which is just like they had no chemistry whatsoever. This just seems real forced.
Nope.
And the only good thing about that is she actually says the line, "Go get him, Tiger."
Yeah.
And that's what MJ always referred to Peter as in the comics. I'm like, yeah.
At this point, she's like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah, like I just left an astronaut who's basically a national hero at the altar to be with a guy who's broke as shit. Yeah, he has superpowers.
It seems like to me that the happy Mary Jane that was at his doorstep is not this Mary Jane. This Mary Jane is like, what the fuck did I just do? I
looks
just
like the
put
guy
myself
who
in danger.
She looks like the guy who went in and be like, I'm buying a brand new Ferrari off the lot. As soon as he drives 5 feet, like, I have buyer's remorse.
What did I just do? I bought this for my idiot 20-year-old son.
And by the way, I drove 20 feet and it lost 20% of its value. Like that.
Oh, that buyer's remorse. Yeah. I don't know that one, but I kind of know that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why is 2 better than 1? Because we're already fucking late, so
we'll get through it.
No. Why is you'll go this time. Why is 2 better than 1?
First and foremost, as we discussed at the beginning, I think that you can actually watch this film without watching the first film. Full stop. And you need no backstory, you need no subtext, no context whatsoever. There's a full narrative here that is a full film in its own. This has a lot of superfluous scenes, as we discussed, but the first film did as well. However, I think overall, this is more concise. The villain is a lot better than, as much as we both love Willem Dafoe, I thought he was a terrible Green Goblin.
I wholeheartedly agree, because I wanted a goblin that looked like a goblin, not a fucking suit.
Yeah.
I hate that suit. With a passion, by the way.
So, again, this film is almost basically just, it's entirely just part 1 and 2 in itself. So you don't even need to see the first film in order to understand the entire concept of the character motivations, even backstory plot lines. If you needed that, you could watch the 2.1 version that adds an extra like 10 minutes of backstory, but you don't even need that to get the full like narrative of what Sam Raimi is really trying to tell you in this. There's also like great cameos that are subtle, except for Bruce Campbell's, but Bruce Campbell deserves it because he's the king of cameos.
Yeah.
Especially in Sam Raimi projects.
For sure.
Overall, it's a more concise and better just overall story as well compared to the original film. So that's why I think this is superior than Spider-Man 1 in every regard.
I think emotionally, it hit a lot of points that have to do with superheroes themselves, but also us as people. So we can understand why Peter loses his powers without them actually saying, "Oh, I'm falling in love with Mary Jane." All of it's kind of implied, which is great because it's showing you, it's acting, it's facial expressions, it's actions that happen that tell you a story beyond the story of the dialogue of what's happening. You can definitely tell, you can infer 1 leads to 2, 2 leads to 3, 3 leads to I'm jumping off a building because I lost my powers because I think I regained them, but I didn't. That entire sequence tells me a lot about the entire movie so far, that if I didn't get it by then, this is where I got it. And it just leads off to the third act. Do you know? A lot of blocking of the shots are way better than the first one. Like, I saw an interview with Sam Raimi that he said, well, Spidey looks better when he's in the suit because of what we can do now with CGI is better and shading and all that stuff. Really? Nothing to do with the enjoyment of the movie. With all of the extra scenes, with all of the extra redundant stuff, still a much more cohesive story, a villain with better motivations because they're simpler. Norman Osborn's a little bit all over the place when it comes to being the Goblin.
He kind of just became a villain outright.
Yes. Octavius has specific things that he wanted to accomplish. Well, he wanted to build that machine. He wanted it to work. He wanted to avenge his wife's death.
Yes.
Without actually saying, Spider-Man killed my wife.
Well, and it wasn't that Spider-Man killed his wife. It's more that, like, no, I know I'm right. I can do this, and I have to prove that I'm capable of doing this before I die. And it's more of the fact too that that's why Octavius is more of a sympathetic villain overall, because it's not only just him, it's the apparatus that is attached to him that is controlling him partially as well, or really like subverting kind of like more of his better moral judgments in order to proceed in fulfilling that goal at the end. So there is one thing I wanted to add too, is they did such great work on what they call the Spidey cam, by actually like doing the actual swinging shots in order to get them to fill in for CG effects. And this is done in this film way better than even in the third film.
Yes.
Because the third film is just CGI. It's 100% CGI.
Yep. Yeah. That's the issue with it. And yeah, I didn't bring up the Spidey cams because, like I said, it is a minor part. There's a lot less Spidey swinging in this movie than the first one, for sure.
Yeah.
And the third one, for sure.
Sure. I think they kind of perfected it in this one, which is oddly reminiscent of how good as a side note, is the quality of the video game adaptations.
Yes.
Because the second one is actually still revered as a pretty decent game.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But that kind of brings us to the end. Now, we had a little bit of an issue backstage. Nothing major, all good stuff.
Yep.
But we kind of had to move around a few things in terms of scheduling. So next week, we are covering The Dark Knight. So go watch Christopher Nolan's second Batman, which there was a point in time where I totally forgot Batman Begins actually existed.
I will have to say to girdle your loins, because this might be a near 3-hour podcast.
It is definitely not.
We may have to schedule. We'll talk backstage, because this is going to be a long one.
Could be, but probably not. I thought this one would be a breeze, but we needed the time, so we might go over next week as well. It is a hefty movie. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot. It's a very, very, very. Oh, we might do an early start. Maybe we might do an early start.
I could pull that off. Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Just mind the time. Rewatch the movie and come back to us. Because remember, guys, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. We'll see you next week. Click the button. Yes, click.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.